Hey guys, welcome to the Heart of David. I haven't really had the time to make a lot of videos because I'm in full-time university, and by the grace of God, I'm in full-time university and doing pretty well actually. Something happened today. A miracle happened. I believe 2 miracles happened today, and I'd like to explain them to you, but it's gonna go along a storyline, and you have to have patience. I can't wear these things, man. I've been doing a lot of talking, so one of the reasons that I even have this channel, okay, and another channel that I had that I talked about my pain and suffering, all that type of stuff. The fool said in his heart, what? There is no God, right? That's what David said in Psalms. I'm sure some people who watch my videos, I don't have a lot of people watch my videos, but I'm glad some people do. You ever wonder why you had to suffer so much? And so, if you've watched my videos for any amount of time, you know I have multiple intractable pain disorders in my abdomen, my body. I had bodily injury all over the place. In that regard, I don't have a good life. But do you ever wonder, why was I basically paralyzed for 10 years, sitting on my butt and or in a bed, when the answer lay in my spine, adhesive arachnoiditis, okay? 10 years. Pretty close to 10 years. I wonder why all this suffering, why so much pain, like very brutal days. But I'm not going to get into that, okay? I still have the brutal days. You can see me back and forth here. I can't even talk with these things in. They make me slur. Something so amazing happened today, and it's going to brighten your day too. What I'm talking about is when it comes to fruition, when you understand, and this isn't the first time, I've understood for a while. Have patience. The first thing I wanted to go into was a master of divinity. I just wanted to get into something so I could to make my life around God, and to witness to people, to read the Bible, to do that type of thing. Okay, I like spreading the word, but you know how hard it is with the types of abdominal pains that I have. They're hard to. I have one in particular that makes it very hard to be around people. But speaking, it can get real bad. I have like a dystonia-like disorder. Not as severe, but still as stressful, like frustrating. But by the grace of God, by faith in God, I've conquered so many fears. I got my motorcycle, got my license in university. I'm not bragging, and I never do. I went into this course in addictions counseling, so I want to be an addictions counselor and have my own private practice one day, and I believe I will become one. Yes. It's a good idea now to get experience. So I've been looking to get into a practicum, it's called, to have a student placement, because I'm in university, so I've been calling around doing all that, and in the meanwhile, I'm like, well, why don't I just gain some experience with people? I'm okay with people, like I have autism and I do have social issues, but I don't have a problem talking about things that matter in life, right? Like when it comes to counseling or talking about the Bible, I'm good with people. I'm good at counseling people. So I'm volunteering, and I've been for a number of weeks now at an old age home. And so my goal is to do one-on-ones with people, sit with the old folks. It doesn't matter what you have, what disability, I don't care. After about the second week, I said to what they call the life enrichment coach, manager, because you have to have enrichment in there. Believe me, have you ever walked into an old age home? You know, where 90% of people have dementia of some sort. I said, I know the scriptures and I've studied them. I would never force myself upon, some of the scriptures, but I would ask. So I said before I did that, I said, is it okay that I do this? And as a matter of fact, let people know in this building that I am willing, and if they can recommend me, I'll go over and I'll witness, or I will, be like a pastor would, right? I just never had it in me to be a pastor. I could be a pastor. I believe I could, but I don't have enough energy and tolerance of that much pain to be out and about and doing all that type of stuff. Anyways, that is first and foremost the type of thing that I would have wanted to do, but it's okay. Addictions counseling is good. So listen. Sorry, I'm doing this while I'm eating too, guys. I'm always in a massive rush. I'm going to get to these, but I'm building the storyline first. Give me a sec. When people say, like, don't talk about the things that God has done in your life, do it secretly type thing. If God does a miracle, talk about it. That's not the type of thing you keep secret. Your prayers, when He says He'll reward you, or He'll answer your prayer if you do it, rather with a closed door, compared with the Pharisees who sit on the street corner and contort their faces. So it's okay to talk about this stuff. So after I asked that life enrichment, I'm very careful. I don't mention names. No one knows where I work anyway. So I'm still not able to use my computer there because it's not Wi-Fi there, so you need a password. And anyways, I forgot to talk to the manager there today, but so much easier when you have a computer and you can look things up. I'm not that good that I know exactly where something is, like it's so much easier on a computer, but I knew some things. Anyways, I brought in a Bible, a King James Version Bible. I took it in my backpack and I biked there today. I'm going to go back to about a week and a half ago now. I visited quite a few people there, mostly women. Some able to talk and understand. Some mentally sick, not able to walk, dementia, people who can't speak. And I'm allowed to knock on someone's door. Okay, first I knock on their door. If it's closed, I can walk in, but I have to knock on their door first. I go in. If they're sleeping, leave them alone. Anyways, there's all types of rules. There's training that I had to do. And a week and a half ago, I went into a woman's room, and she's in a nicer wheelchair, a more comfortable one, because she had a stroke 4 years ago. That's about as far as I'll go with that. So she's paralyzed. She's paralyzed. But still able to think, to speak, but difficulty speaking. Like, you know, there's been a stroke that, like an aneurysm, gone to the brain. I asked her all sorts of questions, just being inquisitive. Is it okay if I ask you this type thing? And she believes it was probably because of smoking, as she revealed to me today. Her room is all set up with like Christmas stuff and you know, like I could just tell like she had a good family and stuff like that from the pictures on the wall. So when I was done speaking with this woman, and her eyes are like closed, but she's awake and she can hear and she can speak. I talked to her about God, and she was okay with it, so it's okay to me to say whatever I want. I talked a bit, and before I left, I said, I was talking to her about neuroplasticity, that the brain can form new connections, and you with that can work with it. I know neuroplasticity because I rebuilt my life from a destroyed body. So before I left, I said, is it okay if I pray for you? What was my prayer? My prayer was, that you will walk, that you will move again. You don't see me praying over people like that. I've done it before, maybe a few times in my life, in that sense that a pastor would do, but you know, these people are in a very hopeless situation. You're going to have to give me a break here. So I did that. It was about a week and a half ago. And I've been going in every couple days, speaking with her and other people, anyone who wants to speak. I'm on a very tight schedule, so I'm trying to eat while I'm doing this. So when I'm there, before I prayed for her a week and a half ago, and I can see it, I'm looking, I'm very inquisitive, okay? I can see like her fingers moving and she's able to move her foot, but you know, I asked her, you know, I haven't been able to do anything in 4 years. And so I went there today and I took the Bible with me. And I'm going to go to another person for a sec, but then I'm going to go back to that to give you what happened today. So I go, you know, I bike, and I go up and I speak to a 92-year-old woman, not the same one, Jehovah's Witness. Her family was. I told her that Jesus was God. She was willing to listen. I went through the scriptures with her. This is almost December, winter time. I read the scriptures and talked to her for an hour in her room, and she was thoroughly enjoyed it, you know. I look out the window, which is right beside us, a big window, and a massive, the biggest rainbow I've ever seen in my life is right next to us, and she can see it too. Right when I'm going through like Isaiah 53, Romans 8, just unbelievable. I'm like, I said to her, I know that's God. I know that. When does this ever happen right in front of my face when I'm reading the scriptures? Which I never do this, you know, outside of this. I talk to people, but not in like that kind of capacity. I knew it. And the rainbow was going into the forest, and I said, you know, there's a pot of gold in there. Anyways, when I was done that, and I felt really happy about that, you know. Guys, give me another sec. if you ask me, that rainbow that just showed up in winter time, it's the fall, but it's very close. We never get rainbows like that around here that I've ever seen in 46 years of living here. Right next to my face, at the end of November. Anyways, so it is, right? If you have warm weather and rain, that can happen, but that's not what I believe. I believe that was a small miracle. So there's many floors, and I walk around these floors, and I think I was on the 3rd floor, and then I went up to the 4th, and I know for sure I want to go up to her room. I go in and I start speaking to her, knock on her door. I walk in, and trying to think of everything that happened. I sit down. Is it okay? You want to speak? She told me that she had friends there. I'm like, oh no, I'd really like to read the scriptures to her, talk about God, talk about how are you doing, not just God, okay? I just like, the last time I talked to her, but I knew there was hope there, and she allowed me to pray over her. So, so she said 2 friends from work were there. I'm like, oh man, that's good for you, but okay, well maybe I'll stay here until they come. And they didn't come back while I was there, and I was there with her for about 45 minutes to an hour actually. So I'm sitting in a chair and I'm just asking her different questions. All of a sudden I look down. This lady has not moved in 4 years after an obvious, pretty horrific stroke. And I see her lift her hand like up like this. I forget exactly what she did, and I said, were you able to do that before? She said no. I said, well, what do you mean? I said, when did that happen? She said a week ago. A week ago. Do you know how I felt in that moment? I don't even feel like making a video right now, but I know I have to. I knew it was God. I knew it. Anyways, I read the scriptures to her and all that type of stuff. I was asking her questions. She was like, she started lifting her head off of the seat, like it's back like this on an angle, and it's got a headrest, and she's like putting her head like this. Her eyes still like about half open when she put her head up. Her roommate came in. There's a curtain between them, and she came in. I said, she can move. And she said, what? So this is her roommate. All of a sudden, she lifted her arm all the way up. All the way up. I don't know what else to say. It's not me. It's God. And that makes me very excited. 4 years. It's like 1,500 days. And an atheist will say, well, it's just hope. She just had a loss of hope. And I just happened to walk in that place, pray over her, and now she's moving. So there it is. First that beautiful rainbow, and then that. I have no doubt, because of my own life, and I wonder, people look at my very last, oh, yikes, I'm having one of those heart things. Flutter. It's because I've stressed myself out so much between my pain med doses. It's coming soon. Give me a second here because I can't stand in this place. It's caused me stress. I bought a bunch of these. If my mother saw me, or my mother's no longer here, saw me here doing all of this stuff, she'd be blown away. It was quite apparent I was never going to walk again, but I did. Red Letter Bible, that's what I brought in. A nice King James version. It's a nice Bible, leather. What else can I say to you? You wonder why you have to suffer. Why? You know why we suffer. If you read the book of Genesis, it's because of Satan and because of Adam and Eve, because they ate the fruit. And Christ came to save us. And a conversation I had today to say, well, this 92-year-old woman, why do we have to suffer? And unless you've really suffered and seen something like I saw today, there is a reason for every bit of suffering beyond what happened in the book of Genesis. The people who believe in God have a light in them, faith, and it shines whether you know it or not. And I think I will finish off with that because, you know what? When I prayed over her, I had a sneaky feeling that God would actually fulfill it. So, you know the things God has done in your life. You know the times we're in. You know, don't be scared of the times. We're told not to be scared, but to keep our faith. And there's so much division in this world. You know, when I come home, I flip up my laptop and I turn on some worldly stuff because, you know, I want to know what's going on in the world. And it's just everyone's fighting. Everyone. Sure seems that way because it is that way. And if you're a mainstream media viewer only, then you have no idea. Because our world is dying. But we're in that time, so I saw the craziest miracle I've ever seen in my life because God has done a miracle in my life. If you don't, you could watch, although it's not a great story, you could watch I Shouldn't Be Alive part 1 to 4. God wouldn't let me leave this earth. It's an unbelievable story. And maybe this is one of the reasons why, to give you more faith. God bless.